Look at how official. We even got this thing.
Yeah, right?
Look at this thing. This means
Wow.
This means it's official. Wow. I love that.
Probably the craziest matter. We've had people like want to leave their remains of their loved ones, their deceased loved ones behind, and the one not too long ago, a woman came with a vase with her urn with her husband, her late husband in there, and she just wanted to sit in the seat with him at the game, but naturally the end game was spread his ashes, and that's not allowed under New York State law, the health law. But anyways, so I was called to talk to her. Somebody from an usher guest experience had her, and I was called to talk to her, and I talked her into giving me the urn, and we took it over and put it in the training center right outside in the lobby, and on the counter in front of 3 big screen TVs, and he had the best seat in the house to watch the game, and she came to pick them up after the game. So that's kind of the craziest lately.
Aren't those stories kind of perfectly indicative of what the organization and the team and the building just means to the community? I mean, does anything say it more than that?
We try to accommodate our fans the best we can, alive or deceased.
I guess so.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Van Miller in Orchard Park, New York, and the road to the Super Bowl goes through Rich Stadium.
Holy mackerel, they did it again!
Fasten your seatbelts. It's playoff time.
Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown, Buffalo!
Where else would you rather be?
Allen back to throw, gonna run it, keep it himself to the 40, jumps over a man.
Touchdown!
It is bedlam. It is pandemonium. It is pandemonium. It is fantastic.
It's said if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. But that type of joy can be hard to come by if you work for a professional sports organization, where so much is tied to the wins and losses and the success that you may or may not have in the postseason. But this is Buffalo, where many of the employees who make this organization run have loved this team and this stadium well before it paid the bills. And when this building closes at the end of this upcoming season, some of the hardest goodbyes will be for those who clock in to make game day happen. But these people will tell you that is not a bad thing, because working with your hometown team isn't a job. It's a dream come true. Okay, so let's break this episode down like it's a game day. Before you even get inside the stadium, you need a ticket. That's Deb's area of expertise.
I'm in ticket ops.
Okay, so what is ticket ops?
Basically what we do is we set up all the events and we program everything for the pricing and set up all the seating.
She is one of the longest tenured employees in Buffalo Bills franchise history, and working for this team has become somewhat of a family business.
My mom had called me, she worked in the ticket office, and she goes, hey, can you come in and help for 2 weeks? And I said, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And
Long 2 weeks.
A long 2 weeks.
It's a long 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Deb officially started with the team in 1987, meaning she's seen both her work and this team change and evolve across nearly 4 decades.
It's a little bit easier now than when I started, because when I started it was over 80,000 season tickets in the stadium, and it was all hard tickets. There were no computers. And everything was done on like 3-part little forms where you'd have to write everything down. When I started, it was also, I think, a strike year, so that I got to experience that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everything just started going. You know, like Jim Kelly was here, and then we had like Andre, Thurman, Bruce, Daryl, all those amazing players, and all of a sudden we're in a Super Bowl, and then we're in another one, and another one, and another one. You know, it was just like unbelievable. Memories that you can't even imagine. You get to go to the Super Bowls. I got to work in the ticket office at the Super Bowls, which was an experience in itself.
Deb's history with the Bills goes beyond her decades working for the team. You may remember in episode 1, we told you this West Seneca native was in the stands when the stadium opened, with that preseason game against Washington in August of 1973. I asked her what it was like all of those years ago, making the transition from a fan to someone who works for the team.
It was amazing. It was like a dream. It really was.
Does it feel real?
Sometimes. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming, and then you get complacent, like I work for the Bills, and then when people hear that, they go, "You work for the Buffalo Bills?" And it's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's real, like you work for an NFL team,
It's probably scary that they give some kid from South Buffalo the keys to a multi-million-dollar facility, but looking forward to doing the same thing across the street.
So up next, you'll go through security. That's where Chris Clark comes in.
I'm going on my 20th season. I checked the wire this morning. I'm still on the roster.
Love it.
I have a history here from prior to it being built, from directing traffic outside as a young deputy, and then somehow being added to the organization, like I say, 20 seasons ago.
You heard him. He is a South Buffalo kid who has climbed his way up the ranks here with the Bills, and he's now the senior director of security. And he knows this stadium better than anyone. Do you know every single thing in every inch of the stadium?
Yes, I do. Even the sub, and there's not much of a basement here, but there are some sub-basements that most people have never seen or heard of. And, we have a few spots on the property that are a little bit different, and some stories that have gone on over the years.
While Buffalo Bills fans may have a reputation for throwing wild tailgates and drinking enough Labatt to stay warm during the games, Chris sets the record straight. He says most of us are pretty well behaved.
We don't have really any major security issues with fans here. I think, as compared to when I first started here, it was kind of a wide open atmosphere. The fans have really taken ownership of the place, and they want to enjoy the game. Naturally, you get some knucklehead every now and then, but they've really taken ownership of the place and want to support their team and see it do well.
When he's not dealing with the knuckleheads, Chris says his position has given him a front row seat to see the Buffalo Bills become something of a family heirloom here in Western New York.
We see people coming here every day. Every day there's people coming. You'll see license plates at the Bills store from every state in the union, just about. And they share memories with you when you talk to them. It's generational. That people come back here. It's almost like salmon swimming upstream in Alaska. They're coming back here to their childhood memories of what their grandparents told them, of what they may have attended a game. It's that melting pot of Buffalo, Western New York.
Once we're through security, the game day experience at Highmark Stadium really starts. Andy Major is the Vice President of Guest and Stadium Experience here in Orchard Park. And while he is from Rochester, he actually started his career in enemy territory working for the Miami Dolphins. He remembers one game in particular from back then. The Bills beat the Dolphins here at home, and Buffalo fans made sure to give Miami a proper send-off.
It's that snowy, crazy snow game, and the Bills win and play great. And I'm in the press box as a Dolphins employee watching the game and not cheering. This is the press box. You guys know you cannot do that.
Yeah.
We get on the bus to leave the stadium in the Dolphin buses, and we are driving around the field house, around Regional Drive, and I'm sitting in the second seat to the windows facing the fans in the parking lot, and who's in the first seat ahead of me is the president and my boss of the Miami Dolphins. Of the organization. And all of a sudden we make that turn, poof, poof, poof. We're getting pelted by snowballs. The fans are waving goodbye. They're doing some other things I can't mention on camera.
Yeah.
And I just remember to myself, okay, who do I know in that crowd, in that parking lot right now? And I buttoned it up. I didn't say a word. And I remember my boss from the Dolphins sitting in front of me going, look at those fans. And I thought to myself, Yeah, look at those fans. How they're incredible.
Andy traded Hard Rock for Highmark in 2008.
Working for the Buffalo Bills, you know, I'm sure you've heard this from other people, but for me, absolutely, it's a dream come true. You know, I grew up in Rochester, New York, loved watching the Bills. Never in my mind did I ever think I'd be working in professional sports, let alone working for the team I grew up loving and being a fan of.
And he says working here for nearly 20 years, he's learned this stadium was always destined for greatness.
This stadium, it's not about the brick and mortar, it's about the fans and the staff and the people. You know, I mean, Bills Mafia evolved over all these years to be the fan base that it is today, and nothing's going to change that.
Leading up to kickoff, there's Jeff Mazurek and his staff hard at work, getting the team ready for game time. He is the director of equipment operations for the Bills. He got his start with the team before he even graduated high school because he was recruited by his brother, who at the time was also working for the Bills.
I think the summer of my sophomore year in high school is when I started. So I worked part-time, I'd come in after school, I'd get dropped off in the tunnel parking lot, walk down, do the laundry from practice, and then on home games I did the clubhouse, so just kind of helping the visiting team come in. Back then, coaches had the cords, the headset, so I would hold cords. One of the first times was, I think it was with Dallas, Don Shula was with Miami, Jimmy Johnson in Dallas, like Dion, all those guys, and I'm standing there and I'm just like 16-year-old kid, just like holding the cord, like I'm like, this is insane.
And over the years, more Mazureks have joined this organization.
My brothers do the clubhouse stuff for me. They're the clubhouse staff, so it's, I mean, when I say it's a family deal, like it's home.
In Jeff's role, he is with the team through warm-ups and in the locker room and at practice and all around these guys. So he is connected with so many players over the years in a way that nobody else really can.
First time I went in the equipment room, I remember it was the first time I met Jim, and you know, I was just like in awe. Like Bruce was there, Thurman, Andre, and you know, now like I'm really good buddies with Jim, and it's crazy. It really is, just from, you know, being from here and basically growing up inside this building.
That brings us here to the press box. For every Bills home game, this room is full of journalists from local and national media, and the trend continues. Several of the people who I work alongside every single game day have memories from well before they were covering the team, like Sale Majorana, who was here in the stadium the first day it even opened. He now covers the Bills for the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle. What was that like, kind of making the transition as somebody like me who grows up here, grows up a fan of the team, and then kind of switches and it becomes your profession? What was that kind of transition like for you?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, I was going there as a fan, you know, 1980, opening day when they beat the Dolphins. I'm in the crowd going crazy, and we're driving home from the game. People were pulling off the side of the road and partying. So I was into it. At that time, I'm 17, 18 years old. So I was into that scene, man. I mean, I was a diehard fan. But then I transitioned up to the press box, and I knew from a young age I wanted to be a sports writer. So I was preparing myself. And then that first time in the press box, I forget who, it might have been Milt Northrup actually, who said to me, remember, there's no cheering in the press box. So it was not a problem for me to watch the game, divest myself from fandom, and become a journalist.
And Joe Biscaglia, a South Towns native, the former sideline reporter for the team for the Bills Radio Network, and the former Channel 7 sports director. He is now a writer for The Athletic.
My dad was a huge Bills fan growing up, so like I understood the anguish. I understood just how every single play could be impacted, and so that has really helped shape a lot of what I am as a journalist. It was a bit surreal seeing how this team that was just up the road from me for years and years of my life has now become my professional life.
What is your favorite memory inside this building?
I've got a ton of great memories in a lot of instances.
I can imagine.
But probably that 1990 game when we won the AFC East against Miami and the goalposts were torn down. I was a chief with the sheriff's office, and I was actually right down here in this end zone. And if you remember, there were horses and dogs on the field. Prior to the event, the veterinarian for the sheriff's horses, she gave the horses doses of a drug to calm them down, right? So I'm standing in this end zone, and the roar, the sound wave just hit us at this end as they turned to come down to this end and get the goalpost. And I was standing there, and I kept rocking, and something was hitting me, and I didn't want to look because I was watching these people coming, thousands of people, and it was the horse's rear end. The horse was rocking and hitting me. So that, besides winning the game, that's one of my favorite memories, is getting rocked by a horse.
So my first game coming as a kid was 1990. I was 10, and I looked it up the other day, and it was, we played a Sunday night game against the Raiders. I brought up the highlights on YouTube, and Tasker blocked a punt. J.D. Williams took it for a touchdown. I think we were down 21 at the half, and we ended up winning by 3.
My favorite memories would be probably the last couple of years where we made the playoffs. And then going out on the field in the snow and just seeing the fans. You know, the fans are amazing. They are the most amazing people you'd ever want to see.
This, though, is the bittersweet thing about goodbyes. They are the most difficult only when you really, really have loved something.
It's a little sad, in a way, to be honest with you, because, I don't know, grew up here. But then when you look across the street at that new facility, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that one. I can't wait to hear the fans in that one, because they're loud in here. They're going to be deafening over there.
I think our fans are going to be here, and the seats are going to be full for a lot of events here, and it'll be kind of, you know, happy, but it's sad that we're leaving.
What are you going to miss the most?
Oh man, I'm trying to. I was thinking about that. Probably just the crowd. You know, the playoff games. Like I said, home opener is always my favorite. Like when they announce the players, especially when Josh gets announced. You know, just the atmosphere. You know, my kid. You know, just like friend. You can point out and see your friends sitting in the, because it's so close. You know. Yeah, I think just the sound. It's a different feeling when you come down the tunnel, and I'm not going to miss running up the tunnel. That's for sure. But I will though. Like it's, you know, I've been coming here since I was 16.
People love it here. You know, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's part of my life. I mean, this is, when I look out there, that's been my whole life almost, is being here. This is my family.
I grew up here, basically. Like I went from a kid just out of college who just got his first full-time job covering a team, to now 16 years later, I'm married. I've got a son.
They've kept that place, I think, in as good a shape as a 53-year-old building can be. You look back on the history of Rich Stadium, which is what I still call it, that place has held up and stood the test of time pretty well.
This is it. This is the last year of this old stadium. And we all have amazing memories here. We all have games we can recite play by play. We all have family trips.
What does this team mean to you?
Everything. They're everything.
There's really no better way to put it. The Buffalo Bills mean everything to this community. And for more than 50 years, this stadium has served as the home base for a fan base that, no matter the wins, losses, playoff success, or droughts, they are here. Season after season, team after team, stadium after stadium.
It's us. Like it's gritty, it's beaten down.
I think we've all grown strong through the years.
They're definitely way more than a football team.
Who does it better than Bills fans?
Bills Mafia, and why they keep coming back on the next episode.